Greetings YouTube, Joe here with Colonation Media, and welcome back to another episode of Pokemon XD Gale of Darkness. This is episode number 110, and in this episode we're going to be taking on the first set of the Orre Colosseum. And I know in previous episodes I mentioned that I was not going to be taking on all of this Colosseum, but in order to complete the Lucky Egg quest, we need to do the first set. So considering that I got a bunch of comments and emails and stuff, tweets, all that good stuff from you guys about the Lucky Egg quest, I am in fact going to be including it, so the first step is to beat this set. The Orre Colosseum is like the other Colosseums, only in the sense that there's 4 battles per set. Other than that, it's completely different. There's a completely different set of rules. You can't use legendary Pokemon. There's specific held items that cannot be used, like Soul Dew. Also, all of the Pokemon that you're going to be facing are going to either be at level 60 or matching whatever your highest level Pokemon on your team is. So if you bring Pokemon that are below level 60, all of the opponent's Pokemon will be at level 60. If you bring Pokemon that, I don't know, let's say you have one that's at level 100 that you traded over, and then the rest are at level 60, all the opponent's Pokemon will be at level 100. Now, all of my Pokemon are exactly at level 60, so that's why you're seeing everyone at level 60 during these battles. The opponent's Pokemon that we're going to be facing are all very well EV trained. They have good IVs. They've been given proteins and irons and all that stuff. And it's kind of ridiculous how crazy their stats are. And Pokemon that you don't think should be that strong are just destroying you. Also, these trainers love to use strategies. And a lot of them will be strategies that you've probably never seen before. But as far as this set goes, it's not terribly difficult, so we should be okay. So I took out the Breloom, who was attempting to use a Focus Punch. We were able to take it out with a Heat Wave and a Psychic. Unfortunately, Heat Wave missed Parasect. It would have been 4 times super effective and knocked it out in 1 hit. But that was not the case. It avoided the attack, so it ended up using Spore, which is the only sleep move to have 100% accuracy. Breloom actually is packing that move as well, but we killed him before he could use it. So Ninetales is asleep, which means Parasect is going to be left on the field for a while. I did go for a Thunder on Parasect, hoping to inflict a little bit of damage and get a paralyzed condition, and I did. I was successful in that. And then I got lucky with Slowbro making physical contact with Electabuzz via Focus Punch, also getting paralyzed as well. So that's where we're at right now. Ninetales is now down to 9 HP after that second return from Parasect, so this Parasect must love this trainer. And just in the nick of time, Ninetales awakens from its slumber, and it's going to put the smack down on this Parasect. Yeah, I just said that, I got away with it. Flamethrower knocks it out very easily. Alright, and Greele's last Pokemon. It's no slouch of a Pokemon. It's going to be Jinx. Jinx does not evolve, but it doesn't really need to. It has awesome attacking stats. Not physical attacking stats, but specifically special attacking stats, special defense, and speed as well. So you're probably not going to outspeed this thing unless you have an Electrode or Crobat. Thankfully, I do, so once Ninetales or Zapron goes down, we can pull out the Crobat. Jinx is a Ice and Psychic-type Pokemon, so you can use Fire or Steel, and I would try to prey on its physical defense because it is very low. You can also use Ghost types if you so wish. Dark types are effective as well, and so are Bug and Rock types, so Jinx does have a lot of weaknesses, so you should have something on your team that can attack it. So what I'm going to do here is, before Zapron gets killed, because he's down to 3 HP as well, we're going to go for a Thunder Wave on Jinx to cut its speed down. That way, make it a lot less dangerous. It also, I believe, has Lovely Kiss on it, so it can inflict some status problems on you as well. Shadow Ball from Slowbro knocks Zapron out, and now it's down to 2-on-2, but we're in a lot better shape here because both of Greele's Pokemon are paralyzed, and Slowbro is down into the low yellow zone. He does have leftovers on that Slowbro, but I should be able to finish this battle off this turn. Alright, so with Crobat going first, we're going to go for a Shadow Ball, which will be super effective on Jinx. It preys on its low physical defense, and Jinx goes down in 1 hit, and that's unable to pull off an Ice Beam or a Psychic on Crobat to knock it out. And with Vaporeon, we're going to go for Bite on Slowbro, and that's going to take him out. And that's going to be the end of this battle, and that does it for Hunter Greele. I think I'll sleep this off. Yes, I'm sure you will. Alright, so we're up to set number, no, not set number 2, battle number 2 of set 1. There we go. Alright, so in the last battle, we fought Greele, who relied heavily on sleep conditions, but in this battle, we're going to switch over to the confusion condition. Most of this guy's Pokemon have the own tempo ability, which prevents confusion altogether, so who will be free to use and abuse Teeter Dance to just confuse everyone on the field and have his own Pokemon be immune to it. So part of this is going to be luck, because if you do end up getting confused, it's going to be very difficult to inflict damage, because I don't know about you guys, but when I get confused, I hit myself like 90% of the time. It's kind of ridiculous. The actual figure is supposed to be 50%, but it just never works out that way for me. Likewise, when I confuse opponents, it's like a 20% chance that they can hit themselves. So, other thing that I would suggest is trying to attack quickly, because if you don't, you're going to end up confused. If you can knock them out fast enough, you'll be in good shape. So, Grumpig has Ice Punch here, and that's going to just get rid of Flygon before you even get a chance to do anything with him, which sucks. I would have loved to pull off an Earthquake there. That would have helped me out a lot. Kind of in trouble here. So we did get a Shadow Ball off on Grumpig. It took away about half of his health. We'll be able to take him out next turn, but yeah, sucks to be down a Pokemon immediately. And Lickitung is going to go for a Belly Drum. I don't know if that was a smart idea. Oh, it does have the leftovers, which is also helpful. But what Belly Drum does is it takes away half of your HP and then maxes out your attack. So his physical attack is +6 right now, as if he used Swords Dance 3 times. So pretty much any attack that he uses that's a physical attack is going to knock out any one of my Pokemon in one hit, unless it's not very effective. And I believe this Lickitung knows Body Slam, so that's what he's going to be using. It's also a stab attack as well. Flamethrower, doesn't quite knock the Lickitung out, which means it's going to go for a Body Slam and knock one of my Pokemon out. Ninetales, yeah, can't stand up to that. Ninetales goes down. Now I'm in trouble here. Down to my last 2 Pokemon. Alright, let's go, Zaprong. Alright, so we have Zaprong and Crobat left over. And we have Lickitung and Cacturne out in the field right now. Cacturne is a Grass and Dark-type Pokemon. So that means it's going to be weak to Poison. So we're going to go for a Poison Fang and keep our fingers crossed. Oh, we get a critical hit! I really needed that right about now. And Cacturne's going to go down without getting a chance to do anything. And I was kind of thinking that some type of confusion move like Teeter Dance was coming, because I think Cacturne can learn Teeter Dance via an egg move or some type of move tutor. Anywho, that's going to help us out tremendously, because Zaprong can take out Lickitung before he even gets to attack again. And now, instead of it being 3-on-2, it is now 3-on-1, and I have the upper hand by a lot. Only Spinda is left. Spinda likes to use Teeter Dance as well. Oh, he's badly poisoned now, so we're in good shape. We're going to go for a Psychic. I didn't want to risk missing with Thunder, so yeah. Psychic, plus the poison damage, we should be able to knock him out in the next turn. Spinda does indeed go for the Teeter Dance. It's going to make my life difficult. All we have to do is attack him once, so we put off getting confused this far into the battle. That means that we are in really good shape here. So we'll just go for a Poison Fang and Psychic again. And Crobat does not hit himself in confusion. Thank goodness for that. Can't remember the last time that succeeded on the first try, but okay. Oh, Spinda goes down, and that's going to be it for Ryder Hurlum. And battle number 2 is done for. Huh? What is this place? Where am I? Huh? Yeah, it's supposed to be ironic because he likes to confuse people. But he ended up being the one that got confused and owned. Alright. The third round is upon us. We have Lestor as our opponent. Stantler, Togetic, Xatu, Grumpig, again, Raichu, and Butterfree. And we're going to go with Zaprong. Let's see here. Zaprong has just been amazing, so I would feel strange not using him. We'll put Crobat in, Ninetales, and we'll go with Vaporeon as well. I don't even think I've put Aggron on my team so far, but It's working, so I'm going to stick with it. Alright, so we're up to the semi-final now. And fingers crossed that I don't lose here, because I've lost here before. It doesn't matter how tough Pokemon are if they won't do as they're commanded. What could that possibly mean? Alright, Navigator Lestor, let's do this. If Butterfree and Togetic both are flying types right off the bat. Butterfree has a 4x weakness to rock type, so it would have actually helped if I had Aggron at this point. But I do have Zaprong, so electricity and ice type moves are both going to help. We'll go for a Thunder and try to get rid of this Togetic first, because Crobat has Wing Attack. Somehow Wing Attack misses Butterfree. How does that even happen? Butterfree had to have been holding the Bright Powder, which decreases your opponent's accuracy when attacking the Pokemon that's holding the item. And Thunder misses as well, so that was a complete waste of a turn. Body Slam. Please don't paralyze Crobat. Please don't paralyze him. Are you serious? Oh my goodness. Okay, things are just not going my way here. Let's see if we can get this turned around. Flash from Butterfree. And that's going to lower Crobat's accuracy. And we're going to go for a Thunder again with Zaprong, and it misses again. This is what I get for not having Thunderbolt. Thunderbolt may have been a better choice, but Thunder is just so much more powerful. Now Zaprong is paralyzed as well from the Body Slam, which is awesome. The Wing Attack hits, even despite the Bright Powder plus the Flash, and it gets rid of Butterfree, so we actually have a little bit of an advantage here. Raichu's the next Pokemon, and Raichu has the potential to be dangerous because these Pokemon can have Volt Tackle, they can have Thunder, Thunderbolt, and a bunch of different ways to paralyze you as well. So Raichu does have Volt Tackle. Oof. That does a lot of damage, and it's going to take out Crobat. Also inflicts a little bit of recoil damage, but he doesn't really care about that. While Raichu's out in the field, it would be kind of stupid for me to send out Vaporeon, so we're going to go with Ninetales. Togetic goes for a Body Slam again on Zaprong, and Zaprong is just suffering. And Thunder, thankfully it's going to hit this time, and Togetic better go down from this. Yes, it does. Alright, so we knocked out 2 of his Pokemon. Another Grumpig. It's been just Grumpig after Grumpig after Grumpig. I believe all 3 trainers so far have had Grumpigs on their team. Alright, so another Volt Tackle, and this time on Zaprong, despite it not being very effective. Zaprong really didn't have that much HP left anyway, so that's going to take him down. And it was kind of a stupid move to make physical contact with him because Raichu is now paralyzed, which is going to give us an opening to get rid of it before it can use Volt Tackle on Vaporeon, which that could not have really worked any better regardless. And Flamethrower, I figured that wasn't going to knock him out, and it leaves him with about 1 HP. Ridiculous. Extrasensory from Grumpig. On Ninetales, it's a stab move, and it takes Ninetales down to an even 100 HP, so we do have a little bit of an advantage here. Raichu's pretty much done for, and it's going to be a 2-on-1 battle here, and it looks like we're going to come out on top. I'm going to go for a Heat Wave and take a chance that it's going to hit both of them, and it does hit Raichu, so Raichu's done, which is going to keep Vaporeon safe, and Heat Wave does almost nothing to Grumpig. But I get what I was looking for, the burn condition, but just as quickly as I got it, it's taken away by a Lumberry. Unfortunately. Yeah, I forgot briefly about Grumpig's special ability, which is Thick Fat. So it does reduce the amount of damage that Fire and Ice type moves inflict on it, so that's why it really didn't do anything. Bite does a lot more damage. We're going to go for a Flamethrower just to inflict a little tiny bit of damage, not much. And then we might be able to finish him off this turn with a Bite. Grumpig's going to go for a Confuse Ray on Ninetales, which I think is a stupid move, actually, because Vaporeon's the one that's dealing out most of the damage. And, Grumpig ends up with 1 HP as well. What is it with that built-in false swipe just nagging me all day today? Alright, Flamethrower. And Ninetales worked through the confusion. That's 2 times in a row that I've been confused, and on the first turn, when it counts, my Pokemon has not attacked itself. I don't know if that's ever happened, ever. Anyway, that's going to do it for this battle, and that's going to do it for Lester. And we're going to move on to the final battle of this set. And this battle, actually, surprisingly, is not as difficult as the other ones. Alright, and if you look on the right-hand side of the screen there, it says Lovrina, and we know who that is. Shuckle, Milotic, Wobbuffet, Blissey, Misdreavus, and Meganium. So it looks like we have our work cut out for us, but one thing to keep in mind here that you wouldn't necessarily think of is that all of these Pokemon are built for inflicting status conditions. Her strategy is basically to just poison you and confusing you, just making up words, to poison you and confuse you, and then stall out with moves like Protect and things like that. Oh, it's the pink-haired diva yet again. Well, what a coincidence. Imagine seeing you here. This time I'm not losing, though. We'll see about that, Lovrina. We'll see about that. Alright. Let's do this. Misdreavus and Milotic are the first two Pokemon she's going to send out. And I think the great thing about this battle is that I don't even know if this Milotic has an attack that isn't Wrap. I'm pretty sure it has like Toxic, Wrap, and then maybe Protect, and then another move that's status-like. Misdreavus is going to go for Torment on Electabuzz, so I can't use the same move twice, which is a good idea because I have Thunder, and the chances of it missing are pretty high. Flamethrower on Misdreavus doesn't do a whole lot of damage, and Thunder actually is going to hit, which is awesome, and it doesn't even take away half of Milotic's HP. You just got hit by Thunder, and my Electabuzz is holding a magnet. Are you kidding me? We get the paralysis condition, but come on. Alright, Confuse Ray was the other move that I was thinking of that Milotic had. Now Ninetales is confused, and Zapron can't use Thunder again because of the Torment from Misdreavus, which is definitely a smart move. And just the amount of special defense that this Milotic must have is just mind-boggling. That it could survive a Thunder. At that rate, it would take 3 Thunders or 2 Thunders and have one of them be a critical hit to knock it out. It's super effective. Are you kidding me? It's ridiculous. Alright. Heat Wave. Of course, that's not going to do much on Milotic. It does get him down below the halfway point, though. And Misdreavus went for a Protect, so Psychic does nothing to him. And Milotic is going to go for a Confuse Ray again, this time on Zapron, so now both of my Pokemon are confused. But I still haven't taken any damage yet, so that part is good. In that sense, I have the advantage. Misdreavus is going to go for Protect second turn in a row, and somehow it succeeded with that. And it doesn't matter because Ninetales ended up hitting himself. Zapron does not hit himself, but Thunder misses, so that doesn't do us any good. Alright, Wrap. So one thing to remember when you do get wrapped by this Milotic is that you cannot switch out. So it's kind of like a temporary mean look while the wrap is going on. If it does use Toxic on you, you're kind of screwed. You can't go anywhere. So I would suggest killing it so that you can switch, honestly. Alright, Ninetales snapped out of his confusion, which was actually kind of fast, and that means we can pull off a Heat Wave. And that does a little bit of damage to each of them, but nothing to be concerned with, really. And Zapron hits himself in confusion, so there's nothing we can do about that. Misdreavus gonna go for a Torment, this time on Ninetales, so now we can't use the same move twice. And Milotic, as I figured he was gonna do, is gonna go for a Toxic on the same Pokemon that he's wrapping. So now Zapron is poisoned, confused, and stuck where he is, so... Oh yes, and another condition that Lovrina likes to use is Attract, and I'm surprised that this Milotic doesn't have Attract, or maybe it does, I don't know, but some of her Pokemon do, so be careful about that, because then you'll be Attract, confused, poisoned, wrapped, all that stuff. Meganium, who she might also have, thankfully Thunder gets rid of Milotic there, finally. My goodness. Anyway, Meganium, who she might have in this set, likes to use Leech Seed as well. Anywho, Wobbuffet is the next Pokemon, and this Wobbuffet can be very dangerous because anytime you attack it with anything, it has the chance to deal double damage back to you with Counter and Mirror Coat. Misdreavus just keeps protecting itself, I don't know why, and instead of risking getting killed by this Wobbuffet via Mirror Coat, I'm going to try to burn it and have the burn condition inflict a lot of damage before I start attacking it. But unfortunately, Wobbuffet had other ideas because it had a Lumberry. And Thunder Wave does nothing to Misdreavus. Oh, not Misdreavus. Wobbuffet went for a Mirror Coat, which does nothing as well because we didn't inflict any damage. I can't use Will-O-Wisp again because of the Torment. And more than anything, this battle is just annoying and long and all that stuff. Misdreavus goes for Protect yet again for the 8,000th time, and this time it fails because he keeps trying to use it in successive turns, which I don't understand. But Misdreavus, anywho, goes down to a Flamethrower from Ninetales finally, and Lovrina's last Pokemon is going to be Meganium, the final evolution of the Grass-type Pokemon Chikorita, and we get a Thunder off on Meganium, and that doesn't really do much because it's not very effective. Meganium is pretty bulky as it is, so yeah, we're kind of out of luck with that. Can't use Thunder again because the Torment is still in effect, so I guess we'll go for an Ice Punch on Meganium, and we'll go for a Will-O-Wisp again on Wobbuffet. This time he won't be able to cure himself, and I was able to get the burn condition off before he went for a Safeguard, because this Wobbuffet will use Safeguard sometimes, and that unfortunately prevents you from poisoning him or burning him, paralyzing him, putting him to sleep, all that stuff. Ice Punch on Meganium really doesn't do that much damage. It did about as much as Thunder did, which is kind of sad. And it is indeed going to go for the Leech Seed there. And now Ninetales is going to be sapped a little bit of HP every turn. And it's going to give it back to Meganium. Zaffron goes down from the poisoning at last. And Wobbuffet starts to take some burn damage, which is always good. I'm going to send out Crobat because Crobat has the type advantage on Wobbuffet and Meganium with Shadow Ball on Wobbuffet and Wing Attack and Poison Fang for Meganium. Now let's see here. We'll go for a Flamethrower on Meganium and see what happens. Oh, Protect. Apparently I'm not going to be doing that. So Poison Fang and Flamethrower are going to do nothing in this turn. And Meganium's going to get a little bit of health back from the Leech Seed again. Meanwhile, Wobbuffet's just over there trying to Mirror Coat, and it's not working out. I'm not even going to attack you, Wobbuffet. Just hang out over there. Alright, so I can't use Flamethrower. Crap. We'll go for Heat Wave. So I guess Wobbuffet can attack me now because Heat Wave will hit Wobbuffet as well. Poison Fang does not do that much damage. Why is this Meganium so bulky? And of course Meganium avoids the one attack that I want to hit it. It's Heat Wave, and yeah, Heat Wave hits Wobbuffet instead. Now Meganium's going to attempt to poison me, and succeeds by Toxicking. Yeah, Toxicking? Is that actually a thing? I think I just created my own verb. Toxicking. Yes, Ninetales has been toxicated. And Mirror Coat, I guess it doesn't matter about the poisoning because Mirror Coat knocks out Ninetales in one hit. Alright, so we're down to our last Pokemon, Aggron. And Wobbuffet is now in the yellow after Heat Wave and a couple of turns of burn damage. Our first objective here is to get rid of this Meganium, though. This thing is so annoying. Poison Fang gets Meganium down into the red zone. And again, Meganium's going to go for a Leech Seed, this time on Crobat. And why do you have to be such a life sucker? Iron Tail on Meganium. And Meganium finally goes down after, what, like 6 hits? And like 4 of them were super effective? Ridiculous. Alright, we should be able to finish off Wobbuffet in this turn if we can hit him with both of our attacks. Shadow Ball! And doesn't quite knock the Wobbuffet out. Maybe Aggron will, if he can connect, which he does. Iron Tail, and Aggron's first appearance in the Orre Colosseum is a successful one because he's able to get the KO, and that's going to win us the championship for this round. Cypher admin Lovrina is defeated. Boo! I can't believe I lost again. Yep, that's 3 times we kicked your ass, Lovrina. 3 times. Alright, well that does it for the first set. Thank you for entering, and congratulations, here are your Poke Coupons. We're going to get 500, which is kind of a bad amount, but that's okay. You've also won a special award provided by Mr. Egan, the Orre Colosseum's president. Please go see Mr. Egan. But first, we get an email from Bella from Gate Village, which is Egan's wife. Colonation, hello. I'm sorry to be writing you without any notice in advance. I obtained your number from Egan. There's something odd happening in our village. If you could visit us when you... blah, blah, blah. It is cut off, just like what Egan always does with emails. So the only logical thing would be to go visit Bella in a Gate Village. And I'm getting distracted by all these shadow Pokemon being ready to be purified. But that's going to kick off the Lucky Egg quest when we go talk to her. Congratulations! In recognition of your brave achievement, Colonation, Lavrina has conferred on you a new title. This is it. Do accept it. Lavrina Fan Club member number 1. Lavrina Fan Club member number 1 is our title. That's kind of sad. I don't want to be part of the fan club. I was so impressed by your toughness. Because you are so tough. Yes, we get our new title. I don't even care what you say, Lavrina. Doesn't even matter to me. You're insignificant. We also get TM06 for defeating this set, and that's going to be Toxic, which was used by Lavrina in the last battle, of course. So feel free to teach that to your grass or poison-type Pokemon, or Umbreon if you have it. That's a good move for Umbreon to know. But that's going to be the end of this episode, guys. Thank you very much for watching, and in the next episode, we're going to head back to Mount Battle for a couple of challenges before taking on the rest of the Lucky Egg quest. So stay tuned for episode number 111. Game on!